Oh, you thought the 3 shots of Don Julio was going to set the tone for 2025, right? Oh, you thought because you reposted about 5 different memes on your social media, your Instagram, that you was going to have a different result this year without changing, right? You got no plan for nothing, and you think you're going to get new results. Well, listen, I'm going to give you a news flash. If you're not willing to cut off people, if you're not willing to change your network, if you're not willing to open a book or look at a YouTube for more than 5 minutes, I promise you, you're going to have the same year. And I don't want that for you, but I'm going to be that guy that's going to tell you the truth. Welcome back to the JefeTalk podcast. It is your host, Jefe, back for another great podcast here in 2025. I'm extremely happy that everybody is here today, that made it through another year, made it through the ups and downs, made it through the loss that we had in 2024, the tribulations, all the things that probably can really take somebody out. But I just want to give you guys a round of applause for just getting through that. You know, it's not easy for everybody to really make it through the things that some of us have went through personally. You know what I'm saying? So I want to give you a huge shout out to you in the JefeTalk community out there that believes in putting a mindset to action, right? Putting things in front of them and making the small steps to make things the way it needs to be. You get what I'm saying? So we just going to jump right into it. It's 2025, and I really believe that this year is going to be a breakthrough for a lot of individuals, a lot of people that really was kind of timid last year. But I think this is going to be the year where we're going to see a lot of breakthroughs in personal endeavors and personal goals. You know, I was just talking to my uncle up in New York, and we had a really dope conversation. It was a dope conversation about just all the goals and the aspirations that we always had on the wall, you know, written out, and the ideas, but it wasn't really much execution, right? He got his own thing going on. I got my own thing going on. But the reality is that we have the mindset for it. Right? We have the mindset. At this point, it's just a game of execution. So I wanted this conversation for many of you out there that are listening or even watching is to be mostly about reinventing yourself, right? The power of reinvention. Reinvention is a very, very powerful word, because it gives opportunity, it gives chances, right? It gives a refresh, like a reboot to a computer that needs updates, right? But we're talking about your life. We're talking about things in your life that probably needs a little bit more tweaking, right? It needs just a little bit more adjusting and a little bit more masterminding to make sure that it's doing everything that it's supposed to be doing, right? While we're here, right? Your life is literally your canvas, and it's up to you to kind of take the paintbrush and start painting out the things that you want to be on your canvas. But you can't have none of that if we're not planning this out, if we're not talking about it, right? If we're not having actionable small wins that we could put in place for us to hit that plateau of success. And the reality is, most of the success is the journey. Most of the success is the planning. Majority of the success is actually taking baby steps and knocking out each little goal until you hit your big goal. I need people to understand that, because the power is in a journey. The end result is what's inevitable. That's supposed to happen. That's why that's not the ultimate successful moment. The moment is the moment you realize, the real moment is when you start realizing, wait a minute, it's me that's changing. It's me that's starting to conform to the positive things that I need in my life. It's me that's having the ability to cut off people when I need to cut them off versus just kind of babying them. You don't got the courage to want to start any friction or fight. So you kind of just let them chill, right? You kind of let them just remain in your life and they linger in, they not fully in it, but you understand there's an energy that comes with that. You understand if you have a conversation more than 5 minutes with that person, it can literally ultimately change your day. It's just we lack on the courage. We lack on the execution of like, listen, I love you, I appreciate you, but this year I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got goals, and of course, don't get me wrong, it's all about your delivery. You can't be out here and be like, F you. Like, you could do that, but it's going to come at a cost. Right? So what I wanted to do today is put some actionable steps on what we can do to at least start the process, right? Remember, there's power in reinvention. Very, very powerful. I'm telling you. All right. So the biggest thing is we want to recognize the need for change. The need for change. If you don't even recognize the need for change, you're pretty much going to repeat what you did last year. And if you had a successful year, hey, don't get it twisted. Keep doing it. Keep doing whatever you did. The money's right. The money's up. The network is good. Your spirituality is good. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. There's no point for you to change it because you figured out the formula. But for those that kind of find themselves kind of in the same predicament, kind of in the same mood and atmosphere, the same people, the same, you know what I'm saying, it's getting played out. You don't know if you want to move or not. It's just dry, right? You have to recognize there's a need for change. And once you do that, it just becomes a game of internal forces versus external forces. You have to fix the internal part first. You have to, because once you fix that internal part, everything else is just going to follow through. Everything else have no choice but to follow what you want to happen, right? So we got to overcome that resistance. That's the first step. Overcome the internal resistance that is keeping you from transforming, that is keeping you from allowing you to cut off those ties that you need, right? The touch of fear, check this out. The touch of fear or the sense of fear can literally create self-doubt. It can literally just keep you in a comfort zone that technically is not even good for you. Sometimes we don't realize that our comfort zone is destroying us. Sometimes we don't realize that our comfort zone is putting us in situations that creates more discomfort. I'm telling y'all, don't let that go over your head, because the discomfort that you're feeling is usually from your comfortability. Sometimes you got to push yourself out that mindset, outside that mode that allows you to just feel extremely, extremely comfortable, because you're starting to realize, wait a minute, I don't see any change around. My money is kind of balancing the same. My relationships is up and down, meeting the same type of people, same type of energy. Like it's a nonstop cycle. And that's because you became comfortable with who you are. Now, it's one thing to have comfortability in who you are as a person, but there's an entirely different level when you start realizing that this person who I became comfortable with needs to change. I need to reinvent who this person is, and nobody else is going to do it but me. I may be influenced, right? I may see people online. I may see people in my community that probably makes me feel good about who I am. But the question is it actually elevating me? Is it actually taking me to the new plateau that I'm trying to reach in life for myself, for my family, for my loved ones, for my friends? And sometimes we got to have that wake up call. We got to have that aha moment, like, yo, it's really me, right? My uncle was just telling me like, yo, you know what? You right. Because I was having this conversation literally this morning. This is what motivated me to get on today. I was having that conversation with him. I was like, yo, he basically was like, yo, you realize I'm my own obstacle. Like, I'm literally the block that is keeping me from getting over to the new level. I'm more concerned about maybe how I may sound, how I may look. Like look, shout out to my Uncle 40. He was basically saying, listen, I don't want to be corny. I can't be corny like these people out here, right? I can't be no lame. I'm not trying to look lame. I'd rather be cool and out the way. And he got a point. You know, you got to understand, like, growing up in New York, living in Harlem, you can't be out there looking crazy. You can't look corny. If you look, they will fry you till the end of time. It's over for you. So sometimes our comfortability and not looking at like that type of person kind of keeps us where we're at. And that was the biggest moment that I think we both realized on the phone. Like, sometimes we might have to look a certain way to the masses, because when you really break it down, the masses do the same thing. Everybody does the same thing. Everybody dressed the same way. Everybody liked the same posts. Everybody have the same talking points, the same arguments. And it's usually the ones that are not the same. You see their life just a little bit different. If anything, a whole lot different. Because they're willing to, what we call, give it up. Like, I'm willing to give it up and do whatever I need to do to take it to that level. Obviously, as long as it's not compromising your morality and your soul and your spirituality. But sometimes we gotta be like, you know what, yo, I'm on this type of time this year. I'm on this type of time, this type of energy, because I don't got time to be wasting. At the end of the day, we got a small window where we can make things happen for our families, make things happen for ourselves. So remember, the first step is recognizing, understanding that there needs to be a change. You got to have that aha moment that, you know what, I'm going to make the corrections I need to do. I'm going to put the right people in place, have the right network, have the right communication format, right? Your format has to be right. You can't just text your way to victory. You can't just DM your way to victory. You got to start having conversation with people who make things shake. People who make things happen. People that know somebody that can put you in a position so your gift can flourish. So your gift can come out to that next level. Right? And that's part of the process. It's a self-awareness. It's a clarity that takes place that feels so good. Once you get the clarity that, you know what, I know what I'm gonna do. I know how I'm gonna do it. I know what to do, and I'm gonna knock it out. I'm telling you, it's life-changing. It's life-changing because you find yourself getting out this matrix of what everybody does. The matrix is really you doing what everybody do. And you sell yourself believing that you're doing something different. That's a hell of a matrix. Because at that point, nobody could tell you nothing different, because what you think you're doing is really not too different from what most people are doing. And that's the problem. That's the confliction that we fall in, right? So the next part is we want to set clear goals. Make sure your goals are clear. It's very easy to understand. You can repeat it back to yourself. You don't need 5 different books. You don't need 10 different gurus online confirming your goal. You know what's right. You know what's wrong. You know what feels good. You know what doesn't feel good. Make sure you define your goal and make sure it's clear. Discuss the importance of having that vision and defining actionable steps for the reinvention that you're going to have for yourself this year. I told myself this year it's going to be more of a very clear but very easy, actionable step format that I'm going to follow this year. When I think it, I'm going to write it down, I'm going to put a date on it, and I'm going to hold myself accountable to it. That's the type of time I'm on. And anybody, I'm telling y'all this now, for y'all who know me personally, anybody that comes my way, it's a wrap for you. I could still love you, I could still appreciate you, but anybody that comes in a way of that clear set goal that I created for myself, you literally have power in distracting me from that. From you distracting me in that clear set goal that I made for myself affects me and everybody that I support, everybody that's in my circle. Some of y'all don't realize how powerful your friends and your influences are in your current life. Listen, I was on social media, and let me just say Instagram. They ain't paying me for not saying that. So I see people repost other people's brands and businesses so much, you would think that they getting paid for it. getting paid for it. Like, it's one thing to like a talking point, right? I love that, a lot of my friends and people repost things that I put, but I'm talking about the individuals that die, like live and die. As soon as they post it, you see them on it, because it's a self-fulfilling, feeling, knowing that you're a part of something without them even knowing you're a part of it. I don't know. It bugs me out. I don't understand how people are out here cheerleading and advocating for other people and lifting those people up without even taking their self first, right? Putting their self first in that mindset, not thinking of like, wait a minute, I had an idea. I had a business idea, and I probably posted once or twice. It's crazy. How are you posting somebody else's business more than yourself? How are you refurbishing other people's ideas and other people's talking points without putting yourself first? So you have to make sure you're embracing, right, the right mindset that needs to overcome you, overtake your entire reality. Just embrace it and just say, you know what? I got to put me first this year, right? So that's setting clear goals. Embracing the learning process is the next point. Right? There's a learning process that comes with this. People don't really talk about this much. They'll say, do the goals, clear, make the vision board and all that cool stuff. But there has to be a learning process on the how, right? How I'm going to do this. Always ask yourself this question. Whenever you make a goal, the next question should be, how I'm going to get there. If you don't have the how figured out, you might as well just be like, it's a wrap, because you don't even know how to do it. So whenever I say you don't know how to do something, all that means that should be a trigger point for you to figure it out. We got plenty of books. We got plenty of YouTubes out there. There's no excuse for you in this generation, this day and age, for you to not have access to the information. It makes no sense. Your excuse should never be, I don't know how to do it. Y'all got Chat GPT. Time out. Listen up. If I had Chat GPT in middle school, high school, working on my master's, college, if I had that, I promise you, I promise you I have a 5.5 GPA. You get what I'm saying? My point is, you have all the information. You have all the information for you to change your life. And I'm not even just talking about on a financial level. I'm talking about your relationships. I'm talking about your communication skills. I'm talking about your health, right? I'm talking about how to be a better dad, how to be a better mom, a better spouse, a better girlfriend, a better boyfriend. You got all these different avenues of case study after case study. And I'm gonna just say this. I guarantee y'all, some of y'all spend more time reading and listening about other people's lives online than how to improve your own life. The crazy part is this. The more time and energy that you're putting into learning and understanding what they got going on, you start embodying those ideologies. You start moving and operating as if you picked up something because you're just well-rounded, life, when it's really from the stuff that you feed your mind 9 to 10 hours per day. Everything that you listen to, everything that you visually see is literally the building blocks on how you think and how you act and how you execute. Let that sink in. Even you listening to me right now is going to be part of your building blocks of understanding and learning how to improve yourself. That's why the content I put out is only designed to empower you, only designed to put you in another stratosphere, maybe start thinking for yourself, right? Even when I talk on different talking points or different topics that's out there, I try to spin a JefeTalk ideology behind it of what can I learn from this for me to become a better person? And that's a fact. So once we understand we got to set clear goals, we got to embrace the learning opportunity, then there's this one part that a lot of people struggle with, and that's the consistency and patience part. The consistency and patience part. Consistency goes hand in hand. I think I'll say the cousin of consistency is discipline. right? You can't have consistency without discipline. You can't expect to continue doing the same actions, the same steps without developing the discipline. And that's why the patience go hand in hand with that as well, because you're going to have to wait to see what grows from the seeds you've been planting, right? All that hard work of pouring in and learning and understanding and getting the format, getting the blueprints, buying the courses, reading the books, watching the YouTubes. You want to see something develops out of that, right? You want to see something that grows or harvests from all the seeds that you've been planting in for yourself. The key word right there is patience. Patience is going to allow you to see that. But if you have no patience for anything, you don't even have patience to watch this full YouTube. Like, you don't even got patience to have a conversation more than 5 minutes with somebody. How do you expect to have patience for yourself to see the growth from all the hard work that you put in? Help me understand that. Our patience is usually what destroys us, what destroys our relationships, what destroys all the different aspirations we have, because we're not willing to just chill and see how it develops. See what different things you probably could tweak. See what different things that I probably could have done different, or what person I could have listened to just a little bit more differently this time for me to know how to move and operate when it comes down to that goal that I was shooting for, right? Whether it was to develop something, an idea, right? Put something out there. But I just didn't have the patience. I just didn't have the consistency and the discipline to just chill and just put my head down and just put in the work. Put in the right actionable steps for me to see that flourish into what I wanted it to turn into at the end of the day. Right? So set clear goals. Have the reflection and the clarity of, number one, that you need to change, then set clear goals. Embrace the learning process that comes along with it, and have consistency and patience. Have consistency and patience, right? Another part of this process is success stories. You got to see success. You have to. If you don't have an idea of what success looks like, if you don't have an idea of what the possible can be, there's not going to be much motivation. We could say our family, we could say this is for my kids or my loved ones, my partner, but if you don't even have an understanding of what that output is going to end up being, it's going to be really hard for you to sustain. A lot of y'all have small patience levels, and lack of patience is because you don't understand what the win looks like. You don't understand what the win looks like. I promise you, if you start putting more success stories in front of you, more successful relationships, more successful businesses, right? More success visuals of what healthy eating looks like, it's going to inspire you. It's going to push you. It's going to allow you to feel like those days when you didn't feel like getting up and to working on your plan or working on your idea or working on your relationship, you have something to look forward to. Because now you have the visual, you have the success stories, you have the testimony to keep you in line and keeping your eyes on the prize at the end of the day. That's where that saying come from. Keep your eyes on the prize. Some of y'all don't even have eyes to look at the prize because you always talking self-doubt. You always saying it ain't gonna happen. I know it ain't gonna happen. I saw what happened to my relative. I saw what happened to my cousin's cousin. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm cool. I'm too cool for that. Like, I'm good. I know life. Yo, let me tell y'all, listen, I got some people, on my stories. I got people who I follow. And I try to make sure there's some type of positive something that I get out of just even following them. Sometimes you got to just do a quick reboot of who the hell y'all following. Some of these people be so positive one day, and the next day they Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. For y'all young people out there, that was this. I think it was a doctor that turned into somebody else the next day. Y'all be going from straight positivity, living life like I'm supposed to, like all of that. And then the next day you spitting everything negative that you could think of out the next day and don't even realize it. It's so bad, your negativity you think is positive. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about? Everything you saying on your social media is a complete opposite of what you posted the other day. And what kills me is people who be like, well, stop thinking everything I post serious. You know what that really is? I'm gonna tell you what that really is. Everybody who says stop taking what I post serious, that's not really me. I just put, I'm gonna end all of that right now. Watch this. All right. If you hate caviar, if you don't like caviar, if you don't like, let's say, chitlins or pig feet, are you gonna post it? Are you going to put that on your social media? I know that was a wild example, but think about this. If you don't eat caviar or eat pig feet, are you going to post it? No, you're not. You know why you're not going to post it? Because you don't want somebody thinking that you eat pig feet. You don't want somebody thinking that you eat caviar. See, I got to give y'all basic analogies because I just got to keep it simple. You're not going to post what you don't believe in or what you don't find appealing to you. So whether you believe it or not, whatever you post is your subconscious thinking for you, acting for you, or what you really feel, but you're going to protect yourself by saying, that's not really me. That's not really, it was just that funny I wanted to read. That's who you are. How you dress. That's not a reflection of somebody else. That's a reflection of who you are. You don't ever put on no outfit and be like, yo, don't judge me for what I'm wearing. It's not really me. I just want to put it on because I think, nah, that's how you dress. If you can't dress, you can't dress. Like, it's all right. Keep your head up. If you could dress, cool, but just understand you are a representation of you. At the end of the day. And what I mean by that is what you post, what you say, how you think, how you act is a representation for the inner you of who you are. This is the part of reinventing yourself, is being aware of that. Being aware of that. Stop selling yourself on the idea that you can get away with the underlying comments and jokes and the things that you're putting out there. And stop being comfortable thinking that people don't see you for what you post, for what you put out. And you are judged on that. I'm sorry. You are judged. If you didn't care about how people view you and all that other stuff, I promise you, if you didn't care about any of that, all your feelings and emotion will be put online. They're not put online because you do care. You don't want a certain perception. And that's okay. That is okay. It's okay not wanting a perception that you believe in something, right? That's not true. My only point to you is make sure whatever you're putting out there is all designed to bring you positive love, positive energy, right? Because it's a process. It's a process of developing who you are. If you want to become good at stocks, if you want to be great in construction or business, whatever it may be, post more stuff related to that. Start putting it out there so when somebody sees that, be like, you know what, I got a guy that can really help you or a lady that can help you with this mentorship aspect of your business. I saw what you posted the other day. I think this will be a good connection. Let me pass you that number. You get what I'm saying? All of that stuff is designed to bring you more energy in whatever that you're putting out there into the universe or putting out there in the atmosphere, whatever you believe in. I promise you it's coming back to you. So be more intentional, be more mindful of what you're putting out there. Be more mindful of how people are perceiving and looking at you, because they can either bring you blessings, they can bring you more positive energy, they can bring you more things that can help you on your journey, or they can block you or keep you from the access that they have based on how you move, based off what you post. It was just all jokes and giggles. Yo, if you want to be an entertainer, go be a comedian. Go do stand-up. Go outside and do that. But do not expect any change in your life to happen if you keep pushing out the type of energy that you know is not going to bear fruit for you at the end of the day. All right? So make sure you have successful stories to look forward to. Make sure you're posting successful things, right? This is the process of reinvention, okay? Your journey is going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but it's definitely going to allow you to understand that the process is the success. Having those small wins day by day, right? Putting out things that's designed to uplift you and push you into a better direction. That's the success. You already won. And I'm telling you, it's levels to this. Once you understand you already won because you're breaking old habits, the sky's the limit at this point. The sky's the limit. Start talking about the rewards. Start talking about the benefits of changing who you are, right? Like this morning, it was funny. It was all cool. Me and my uncle just having a good time, cracking jokes. But we started talking about the rewards. We started talking about what comes after the hard work. When you do that, you start realizing I have to change. I have to reinvent who I am. Ain't no point talking about all this success if I'm not going to make the changes that I need to change for me to get there. That's the power of talking about it. Everything can't just be in your head. Like, everything just can't. What's the point of having everything in your head and you got hands and feet? The purpose of your hands and feet is to do what's inside your head at the end of the day. The purpose of your mouth, the purpose of your voice, the octaves, right, is to execute what's inside your head. The purpose of your ears is to know exactly who to listen to and who not to, so that way your mind can transform into the right direction that you want it to go. I hope y'all tracking. I hope y'all following. So my call to action to everybody, is to engage, to execute. Remember, JefeTalk, act, think, live. That's the slogan. Just take action. Don't overthink it. Don't worry about who's looking. Don't worry about who's going to have a certain way of looking at you like, oh, you doing that? Yeah, I'm doing it. What you doing? How about that? Before you question what I'm doing, I want you to tell me what you're doing. That's the type of time I'm on 2025. I want all of y'all to do that. If anybody is questioning your growth, your progress, how you going to get there, say, listen, before you do that, I need you to tell me what you're doing. 9 times out of 10, guess what? Well, don't worry about what I'm doing. All right, if you don't want me to worry about what you're doing, I guarantee I don't want you to worry about what I'm doing. Yo, this has been an amazing, profound moment, you know what I'm saying, for me, because it literally allowed me to just take a step back and understand, wait a minute, there's some things that I need to reinvent within myself. There's some things that I need to improve. And I'm telling you, it's one of the most refreshing moments that you will ever have, because your whole life changes after that. Self-clarity is probably the most powerful things that can happen for somebody. And I'm talking about even on a spiritual level. Even on a spiritual level. My kids, right? Shout out to my kids, my babies, right? My youngest, his name is Christian Jr. He's 10 years old. My daughter, her name is Layla. She's 14. And they had a moment where they wanted to develop a more personal moment with God. They want to know what it's like to have that direct source. Because, you know, as parents, we try to give them the right things and whatever you may believe in, right? But we try to guide them. We try to put them in the right direction. But the most fulfilling moment is knowing when they get that point, now they want to start developing it. And when that moment happened last Sunday for me, it was like, wow, that's what I was once, right? That purity, that innocence of like, I don't care about how I'm looked at. I don't care how many people looking at me. I just know I wanted to dedicate myself to that. And that was the moment that I knew that 2025 has to be about reinvention. 2025 for y'all out there has to be about cutting out all the noise and the people that bring that toxic energy. Stop selling yourself on ideas that you don't need people to win. You need the right people to win. You need the right mindset. You need the right coach. You need the right mentor. We don't know everything. I don't know everything. Don't let confidence confuse you of being arrogant and I don't need to listen. Confidence is having a clarity. That's why I said in the beginning of this pod is you need the clarity. That's the only way you're going to be able to succeed and move forward in the right direction. But if you don't have the clarity, if you don't have the assurance to yourself that you need to change, is at the end of the day, it's over for you. You're going to repeat and rinse over and over and over and over again. Clarity is the best thing that can happen to you. And I hope everyone who's listening to this, everyone that hears my voice, has that moment of clarity of, you know what? A change has to come, but it has to first start with me. Yo, this has been an amazing session that I had with you. I feel good about this. I know this is going to change people's lives. I want y'all to like, subscribe, watch the YouTube, look me up on Instagram, look me up on YouTube, JefeTalk Podcast. For those watching on JefeTalk, hit the like, subscribe, share this with somebody. If you want to bless somebody, send them this pod. Send them this, because again, this is all designed to empower people and to uplift people, because I needed to be uplifted. I needed myself to be empowered. All I'm doing is just passing over that gift to everybody else listening and tapping in. Drop a comment. Tell me how you enjoyed this podcast. Send me a message. I appreciate all the love that I get already. But anybody else that has probably just came to this podcast for the first time, I appreciate you. I have mad love and respect for y'all, and I am out.